Good morning, Westside. How are we doing this morning? Let's all stand. We're going to sing together. Yeah. Big shout out to everybody joining us online this week. Are you lost? Are you down? Are you scared of letting go? Come home. Come home. Has the world got you loud? Did you feel like you're alone? Come home. Come home. Everywhere, everyone searching for a family to be known, to belong, to be wanted. This love is like no other. Higher, deeper, greater than my heart could ever comprehend. This love is like no other. Stronger, sweeter. I could search for miles and never reach the end. This love is like no other. No, this love is like no other. Have you run out of hope? Do you need a miracle? Come close. Come close. Even if every voice says it looks impossible, he won't. No, he won't. This love is like no other. Higher, deeper, greater than my heart could ever comprehend. This love is like no other. Stronger, sweeter. I can search for miles and never reach the end. This love is like no other. No, this love is like no other. No, everywhere, everyone is searching for a family to be known, to belong, to be wanted. Everywhere, everyone is searching for a family to be known, to belong, to be wanted. This love is like no other. Higher, deeper, I know my heart could never comprehend. This love is like no other. Stronger, sweeter. I could search for miles and never reach the end. This love is like no other. Higher, deeper, greater than my heart could ever comprehend. This love is like no other. Stronger, sweeter. I could search for miles and never reach the end. This love is like no other. No, this love is like no other. No, no, yeah. Amen. This next song is called Breakthrough. We all have areas in our life where we're looking for breakthrough. Life can sometimes seem like it's a series of mountains to climb, you know, and if you're waiting for that breakthrough, just know that it's coming soon, all right? Looking back, you have been so faithful. I believe that the best will come. Through the pain, there's a strength that I can't ignore. There's a hope found in every season. There are days that it won't make sense. Still I know that you're God and I won't forget. Something's about to break. A breakthrough is coming. Something's about to change. Revival among us. When your spirit moves, a new day will rise. We believe in faith. A breakthrough is coming. Oh, oh, oh. A breakthrough is coming. guys been seeing lots of green lately? 2 weeks away from the Good Neighbor Project, all right? 2 weeks away from Good Neighbor Project. Turn and greet somebody around you and ask them if they signed up yet. Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand. When everything around me is shaking, I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause he's never let me down. He's faithful through generations. So why would he fail now? He won't. He won't. I've still got joy in chaos. I've got peace that makes no sense. So I won't be going under. I'm not held by my own hands, 'cause I built my life on Jesus. 'Cause he's never let me down. He's faithful through every season. So why would he fail now? He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. He won't fail. Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand. When everything around me is shaking, I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause he's never let me down. He's faithful through generations. So why would he fail now? He won't. He won't. No, he won't fail. He won't fail.
Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. Matthew 7:24-25.
The rain came, the wind blew, but my house was built on you. I'm safe with you, and I'm gonna make it through. The rain came, the wind blew, but my house was built on you. seated.
Hey everybody, I'm Dawson, and I serve here at Westside in the production team and the worship team.
And I'm Adriana, and I'm part of the hospitality team and the kids ministry.
And I want to say welcome to all of our first-time guests, and if you are one, I want to encourage you to grab a copy of our book, Sticky Faith, written by our pastor, Gabe. Also, I want to invite you to join a growth group, because that is the #1 way to get connected in our church. Also, we've got these things called connection cards. They're these little green cards inside of your pamphlet. And if you want to fill that out, that will help us help you.
Coming up, we have the Ice Cream Sunday. This is a great excuse for you to invite a friend to the Westside to connect and communicate and have fun, and have the ice cream truck here after the 10 and 11:30 service on the August 18th.
Perfect. And we've got another thing coming up, which is called the Good Neighbor Project. This is something where we go out into the community and we help the community rather than doing a worship service. And so we've got that coming up on August 25th. And if you want to get involved, make sure you sign up for a project in your connection card.
Now it's time to get into this week's message of our series, Doing Good, Feeling Good. Grab your notes and let's get started.
Experience the joy of making a difference. In this new series, Doing Good, Feeling Good, we'll explore how serving others can change your life and our community. Join us as we discover the secrets to a life filled with purpose and joy. Sundays at Westside Community Church.
Good morning. Oh, that's better. Good morning. It's so good to be here with you guys today. My name is Pastor Steve. I'm one of the pastors here, and I need your help with something today. I don't know about you, but I've been following the Olympics, and I'm actually sad today's the last day. Who's with me on that today's the last day of the Olympics? Watching the men's basketball team play for gold and win. Yep, we can give them a round of applause for that. It brought up that old that question, who's the GOAT? Who's the greatest of all time? So I'm gonna use your help a little bit in here. Who's siding with Michael Jordan today? All right, we got some Jordan fans. All right, who's with LeBron James? Oh, sorry, LeBron, you've got two people in the back. I'll get you their names later. What about Kobe Bryant? Okay, all right. I don't think we're gonna solve the answer, but after watching the Olympics, I think we can all agree that Steph Curry may need to be added to that list. He went off. It was so much fun to watch. So the question is, again, who's the GOAT? But I wanna change who you mean by that. Who's the GOAT in your life? Who's the person that have served you in a way that they got that title? And then whose GOAT are you? Who are you serving that you've now become their GOAT? And if you're not, you have the opportunity to. See, we're in our series, Doing Good, Feeling Good, and today we're talking about happiness and health, okay? So this is not about who you're serving. This is actually what we get from serving. And there's some great opportunities for you to serve. And it doesn't matter how old you are. I won't hold your youth against you. You can get in at any level. And there's some opportunities. And one that we talk about, and you've seen the guys walking around, or some of the girls walking around in the green shirts that say Good Neighbor Project. That's in 2 weeks. So sign up for one of those teams. I think there's some information in your brochure when you came in here today. And join one of those. That's where we shut down church in 2 Sundays, and we go out and we serve the community. And I can tell you, and my hope is that after today, you're gonna have an understanding of what that actually does for you versus the person that you're going to serve or the project you're gonna serve on. So that's what we're gonna dive into today, is happiness and health. There's another way that you can serve, and I'm going to call them out because they're actually in the audience with us today. Kevin and June, can you stand up? Yeah, June shouldn't have let me know she was here because she came over and said something to me, so I knew that they were here with us. But Kevin and June lead our food brigade. And that ministry is continuing to grow and continuing to bless families. And we'd love for you to partner with them. They need some help on Saturdays with people going through the line. June has been putting it out there. If you connected with them at all on Facebook, she's looking for more and more people because they are actually starting early in the week, right? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday, where they actually need people to help. And Friday, they need people to help, as well as, of course, on Saturday. And I think there was, over 250 families this week? 350, I'm sorry. Let's give it up for 350 families that went through Food Brigade. And that is, I can tell you, without even having to ask June, that is one of the highest stress levels for her, is making sure that there's enough volunteers to serve all the people that God is putting in front of us. And so today I want to help shift your mental landscape, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the different bodies when we serve, but those are just a few opportunities. Because I think in our fast-paced world, we often get caught up on what's going on around us and not some of the things that we can do. We look for our happiness and especially our health in the quick feel-good, the quick pill that may help us lose a few pounds, getting in some exercise routine or some diet that we want to do, but we know we're not going to stay up with. And although our physical health and what we do for our body is important, it's also important what we do for the rest of our body. And serving allows us to accomplish that. So we're gonna dive into Isaiah 58, 10 and 11, and some other verses on how we can understand how serving actually helps us. I had the opportunity, before we dive into the verse, I had the opportunity to go to Guatemala back in March. And I thought that I was going there to help others. I thought I was going there to serve as a chaperone for my son's high school group that was headed that way. But guess what happened? God had other plans. See, although I was there to serve, I actually came away from that trip feeling like I got served. See, I was able to get out of the routine and all the things that we get so caught up with in life, that I was able to see my son in a different light that I've never seen him in. I was able to see him at work and God working through him. And I can tell you that it has strengthened our relationship more than I could have ever wanted. You see, that's the benefit we get when we get outside of ourselves and we go do something for others. It's actually us who receives the benefit. So Isaiah 58, 10 and 11 says this, and you can follow along in your notes or in your Bible online. They're gonna have them up there. But it says this: feed the hungry and help those in trouble. Then your light will shine out from the darkness, and the darkness around you will be as bright as noon. The Lord will guide you continually, giving you water when you are dry. He will restore your strength, and you will be like a well-watered garden, like an ever-flowing spring. There's some pretty cool promises in that verse. Think about that, what it says. So let me get this straight. If I help the hungry and I help those that are in trouble, God's actually gonna restore my strength. He's gonna give me the water when I'm thirsty. Those are some pretty powerful promises. I think sometimes when we hear serving, or we hear service, or we hear the word servant, we don't really define it. I think we definitely need to take a look and go, maybe I need to shift. Because I think sometimes when we think of that, we think of it maybe being beneath us. Or we think it's something that we're willing to do when we don't have anything else going on. I'm guilty of that. Who's with me? Oh, well, maybe I'll go down and help Food Brigade on Saturday if I don't have other stuff that God gives us. And I want you to think about it in the lines of, okay, we got this, and this, right? We got all these things that we want to get done. And then once we're doing that, we'll think about serving. But what if we flip it? What if we serve first? God restores our strength. He fills our cup. He gives us water when we're thirsty. And think about how much easier it is for us to do all those other things that we wanted to do. Because when we serve, we actually allow God to work through us and in us. So I think we need to define and change our definition, because Jesus said, he that is the greatest is the servant of all. In fact, if you look at the word in Greek, serve or servant, it's diakonos. And literally what it means is to kick up dust as one running an errand. That's changing your mindset. Think about that. I know for me, it's been a long time that I've run fast enough to kick up dust, so I'll be honest there. But that's what happens when we serve. And if we serve with the right heart and we align ourselves with God's will, now we have purpose. So that brings me to the first point that's in your fill-in. And it's talking about our spiritual body, connecting to God. See, Isaiah 58:10 says this, feed the hungry and help those in trouble. Then your light will shine out from the darkness, and the darkness around you will be as bright as noon. See, there's profound truth in that when we do that and we take care of others, we actually connect ourselves to the divine power of God. And then it reflects in our own heart. And he takes our light and he amplifies it because we're aligning ourselves with his will. It gives us true fulfillment and true purpose when we do something for others. Colossians 3:23 says this, work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord and not for people. So he's telling us we have to shift our heart. He's giving us the roadmap how to become happy and healthy. Because I bet there's not one of you that if Jesus was standing on this stage right now and said, I have a need, that you wouldn't be willing to run to him and help him out. So do something for me. Turn and look at the person that's sitting next to you. A little awkward. I don't have anybody to look at, so I'm staring at all of you. But do you see Jesus in them? Different perspective, isn't it? When we realize our act is actually working for the Lord. When we do something for the person that's sitting right next to us, we're doing it for God. The other thing is we have to, and this is point number 2, we have to shift that mental focus. We have to impact our mental body. And that's done by shaping our thoughts and beliefs when we serve. So when we look at that person next to us and we see Jesus in them, or the thing that we're doing it, we see that we're doing it for the Lord, not for ourselves, not for another person, but for Jesus. Now we're changing our mental landscape. Our mental body encompasses our thoughts, our beliefs, our desires, and our values. So that's why it's so important that we have to take hold of this. And we have to broaden our minds. Isaiah 58:11 assures us that the Lord will take over, The Lord will guide you continually, giving you water when you're dry and restoring your strength. You will be like a well-watered garden, like an ever-flowing spring. So we have to take compassionate action for others. It shifts our focus. Our minds expand. Our perspectives change. We actually see stress reduce because it alleviates stress and anxiety when we shift our mental focus. It expands our mind, and it transforms our beliefs. We're thinking of it differently now. And it gives us purposeful goals. Don't you always feel better when you've accomplished something that you set out to do? It's not so easy at the beginning. You're like, oh man, I got to do that. But when you're done, you're like, look at what I got to do. Look at the end result. And that's the same way we have to look at serving. It shifts our mental focus. You know, we have the opportunity here at Westside to partner with other people around the world. And we've got one partnership in particular that's in Italy that I know Pastor Gabe and Melissa hold dear to their heart because it's actually their oldest son, Dawson, and his wife, Adriana. And if you did not get a chance to watch this last week's podcast, I'd love for you to get on YouTube. Not right now, put your phones away. You in the 10 o'clock group. But get on YouTube and go back and watch it because it's powerful. And I brought with me just a little clip of what you're gonna see, so watch this.
What would you say is the key to finding out what your sweet spot is? Like, is there a moment when a light bulb goes off and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I was created to do?
I think for me it was like, you know, it's like to make for example, is like going to an ice cream shop and you don't know any flavor that they have, which happened to me like 2 days ago. And it's like, when you first enter in church, it's like entering in an ice cream shop you never entered before. So you don't know what you are talking about. So it's like the first thing you do is like, can I try that flavor? So I think for me, like my encouragement is like, be curious to try different flavors before you decide which flavor you enjoy more. So it's the same with serving in ministry, and that was for me too. When I first entered in Hillsong, I didn't know what it was about, so I was like, okay, let me just, one day I do serving, one day I do like welcoming, one day I do translating. So I think it's like tasting flavors of ice cream until you find the one who you really enjoy.
Yeah.
And it will be like the same when you serve. It's like, oh my gosh, I think I'm made for this position.
I love that because that relates back to what my dad, Pastor Gabe, said yesterday at the end of the message. He said, what's your next step? Guess and go.
Yep.
And that whole idea of guess and go, because like I think we tend to just be stuck on one thing and think, I don't know, like, should I do it? Should I not do it?
Yep.
Or like, I can't go outside this box that people have told me, this is like my box.
Yeah.
Or I've told myself, this is my box. And I love that idea of just guess and go, because like we cannot waste our lives just stuck and not moving. And so that idea of like, okay, maybe I can do that. Let me try that.
Yeah.
I think is good.
Let's give them a round of applause. I love that. The Baskin Robbins of serving, right? 31 flavors, she says. Try them. Figure out which one's for you. Something for everybody. I thought I embarrassed her enough because she was here at the first service, and I thought because I pointed them out, Adriana wouldn't show back up, but she's actually over serving in the kids ministry. So it's been great to have them back. It's great to be connected with them. But this tie-in goes to the next point. It's our emotional body. And what happens is when we serve, we're impacting our emotional body. It creates or cultivates joy and connection. And see, our emotions play a vital role in our well-being. Isaiah 58:10 reminds us, then your light will shine out from the darkness. And when we serve others, again, we align ourselves with the will of God. Our hearts light up. And what happens when that is he amplifies it. He amplifies it. And it draws others to him. You see, acts of kindness actually release the feel-good chemicals, and not the ones you'd get in trouble for buying on the street corner. So these are completely illegal. So I don't want any pushback here. But serving others releases dopamine. It releases serotonin. Those things are what makes you feel good. Accomplishing, doing something for others. It gives us the joy and the fulfillment. It allows us to have connection with the person or the thing that we're serving. And sometimes it's the most fun when they don't even know that you've done something. I had an opportunity this last year watching my son play volleyball. I'm picking on him today. Have you ever been to a volleyball tournament? Well, they're just getting it started up for guys' high school sports in volleyball. They're in their second year, and they haven't got it all figured out. But a volleyball tournament consists of showing up really early in the morning, and you're staying really, really late. It starts with like, you play some play-in game, and then you have some bracket play, and then you play just to play, and then that play determines who's gonna play for the championship. And by the time you're done, it's like 7 o'clock at night, and you're exhausted. And you didn't even play the sport. But like I was saying, I was at this volleyball tournament, and one of the coaches left a wallet on the bleachers. Now, I saw the wallet, and I kind of assumed it was a coach, but I didn't know for sure. But I thought, what a courageous individual in this day and age to leave your wallet with your credit cards and all the stuff right there. I mean, there were kids from all over the area. If that thing disappeared, you'd have no idea where to look, but he left it out on the stand. And I thought, I want to do something for him. So I went to my wife, because she's the one that has all the money, and I said, honey, can I borrow $5 from you? And she gave it to me, reluctantly. She didn't know what I was gonna do with it. And I took that $5 and I put it in his wallet and I walked away. You wanna talk about fulfillment and joy. When you watch somebody come back to their wallet and they didn't have any cash to start with, and all of a sudden there's a $5 bill in their wallet, not only did their wallet not get stolen, but there was money in the wallet. I gotta watch this guy's eyes light up, and he's dumbfounded. And I'm telling you, I'm laughing in the stands. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. Here I serve somebody, and I get all the joy and fulfillment of watching him. And not only did I watch him in that moment, but then it was like wildfire. He'd walk to another coach, do you know what happened? And you could see him showing the wallet and holding the $5. And I watched him tell everybody, it was, for $5, that was the best ever. And here's the thing, I'm now connected with that coach, and he doesn't even know. I see him in other volleyballs, I'm like, oh yeah, there's that coach. But that's what happens when we serve. We have an emotional connection. We get to feel good. It's actually us that feels better. And you know what it also does? It allows us to get away from all the negative stuff that this world is trying to surround us with. Just watch the news. I can't even do it anymore. But you know what? Serving takes us out of that. It takes us out of our own problem. It allows us to focus and change our mental landscape on something that is greater than ourselves. And by doing that, we actually help ourselves out. It gives us emotional resilience. It gives us joy and fulfillment. And that brings us to the fourth thing, is our actual physical body. See, we strengthen our physical body through service. Because we actually thrive when we serve. We actually have to get up and get moving. We did baptisms yesterday at the beach. What a fun time. But I don't know if you've ever tried to stay out there for any length of time combating the waves in the ocean. We had 9 people that got baptized with us at the coach. One of them took me down at the very end. I think he leg sweeped me. I'm pretty confident. I told my wife to delete the video. But I made the mistake when I got home of going, I'm kind of tired. And I went and I laid down. You know what happens after you're fighting those waves in your knees? When I woke up, my knees were stiff. I'm like, I'm not that old. My wife's like, yes, you are. So I asked her, which is better, Tylenol or Advil? She goes, what did you do? I go, my knees are sore. She started laughing. I'm like, that's not the response I was looking for. But that's what happens when we stop serving others and we get still and we get behind our remote control or our video game or insert whatever it is that takes up your time, whether it's watching 37 TikTok videos, being on Instagram. But one thing that we have to do when we serve is we have to get moving. Which then, as you see, I'm walking just fine today. That's because I'm moving. We move, our physical body gets strengthened. We thrive when we serve others. We actually have our stress reduced by hormones that are released. The cortisol levels drop, and we have boosted immunity because we're feeling good. And it's hard for a cold to attack you when you're feeling good. It can happen, but it's really hard. And we have increased vitality. That's what happens when we serve. We actually get back. We are the ones that get to feel better. In Mark 10, verse 43, we learn that we have to serve first. See, the pathway to health and happiness is right here in God's promises. The problem is we don't listen very well. I know I don't listen very well. Just ask my wife. She's got lots of time after the service. There's not another service after. But we need to listen to the word of God. And like I said in Mark chapter 10, verse 33, it says, but among you it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be what? A servant. Flip-flop our priorities. Verse 44 says, and whoever wants to be first among you must be a slave to everyone else. So let me get this straight. If I want to be first, I've got to be last, and I've got to serve others. Okay, I'm starting to see it. And verse 45 goes on to say, for even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others, and to give his life for the ransom of many. We have a hard time believing Jesus died for me. That's one of our hardest things, is recognizing he died for you. He died for you. But to accept it takes courage and faith and understanding. And our goal is to be Christ-like. We have to follow his example. I think about the Last Supper. Here he is. He knows that he's about to pay the ultimate sacrifice. He knows he's about ready. But what does he do? He sits down for dinner with his 12 closest friends who he served alongside of. What would you do if a doctor said you had less than 48 hours to live? He didn't go to Disneyland. He didn't take a trip to Australia or to Europe. No, he surrounded himself with the 12 closest people that he served with. You know how they repaid him? They started arguing. Talk about not being aware of your current situation. Here's how the 12 disciples started arguing. And you know what they were arguing about? They were arguing about who was the GOAT. Who was the greatest of all time in the kingdom of God? That's what they started arguing about. Here's Jesus, about to give his life. Here's the people around him, focused on themselves. So you know how he combated it? Jesus got up. Remember that action, that compassionate action? Jesus got up from the table. I need to do something. And then he took off his nice dinner jacket, his special robe. So he took off the title. He took off his status. And he revealed himself in humility. And then he took a towel and he wrapped it around his body. And he got a basin, which is like a fancy word for bowl. And he filled it with water. And then he got down because he knew he was about to get messy. And he got down on his knees. And he started washing his disciples' feet. Serving others. Talk about the greatest of all time. How difficult it must it have been to be in that room and having Jesus, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Alpha and the Omega, washing your feet. But he knew that he had to do this to show others the path of what service really means. Because at the time, think about the time. They didn't have nice paved roads. They didn't have nice Nikes on. They had sandals and sometimes just bare feet. And the streets were dirt or mud. The job of washing someone's feet was the entry level for service back then. That was the lowest of lows. And here's the King of Kings who's about to give his life on the cross for you and for me, showing us what service really looks like, what it means to get outside of ourselves and serve others. And maybe you're in that place right now. Maybe today's the day that you've been on the fence about fully accepting Christ's love, about fully admitting to yourself that he died on the cross for you. Maybe you're ready to quit doing this on your own and have the Holy Spirit fill you. And we're gonna say a prayer. They're gonna put it up on the screen. And it's this simple. You can say it right now, right where you're sitting, right in your seat. Jesus, I give you my life. Thank you for saving me. I believe in you, your life, your death on the cross, and your resurrection. Forgive me of my sins. Fill me with your Holy Spirit. Lead me and teach me to follow you. Now, with every head bowed right now and every eye closed, I ask if you're at that point that you just said that prayer for the first time, that you just received Jesus, would you do me a favor so that I can pray for you? Will you raise your hand and let me know that you just said that prayer? Thank you. Thank you. Amen. God, we come to you in awe of the path that you laid out for us to follow. If we just had the courage and the strength to accept it and follow you, you laid it out for us. Thank you for your love and your mercy. Thank you for the opportunity to be here together, to worship you, to love you back, for the love that you so freely gave us that we didn't always deserve and we don't deserve, but you did it anyway. God, we're grateful. God, I pray that today as we leave, that our minds have shifted, that spiritually we're connected to you, that emotionally we're thinking outside of ourselves. God, give us that physical strength that you promised to restore to help us go make an impact in your kingdom. God, we love you. In your precious name we pray. Thank you for being with us today. I'd love for you to take this moment to stand and worship.
The weapon may be formed, but it won't prosper. When the darkness falls, it won't prevail.
just love that idea that God is working so powerfully in you and through you right now and around you and through your circumstances that there's like literally nothing that can derail his purpose for you and me. And I just love that. And thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Pastor Steve, for the awesome message today. And to the band, what a great time. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. I'd love for you to have a seat for just a minute. We're going to continue with our worship as we take a next step together. And the way that we always do that here at Westside is we take this little green card out and we fill out as much as we're comfortable with on the front side, and on the back there's some next steps, things like events you could sign up for, prayer requests. By the way, today, if you said yes to Jesus, we'd love to know. You can mark it right here on the back of the card. It says, I'm beginning my relationship with Jesus. And for those of you online, same thing, right on your online connection card. We'd love to have you take that step with us. We're gonna spring into action through prayer. We're gonna send you some things to grow in your faith. And actually, by the way, we have a Bible for you right in the lobby. It's a New Believer Bible. We've got a copy for you, and we hope you'll go back there if today was your day to say yes to Jesus and grab one right in the lobby at the Change Your World wall, all right? So we're gonna pass our offering buckets, and as we do that, it's a great time to drop these green cards in there, as well as to give. You can give today either online or on the app, or even right here with this envelope in the offering bucket. And as that floats around, I wanna make mention of a few fun and special things that have been happening.
Am I on? I forgot something.
This is one of those interventions.
We're gonna intervene. I'd love for you to help me celebrate this man. It is his birthday today. We're so grateful for your leadership.
Thank you.
We love you. And I'm gonna let the professional lead us. And if you would help, let's sing him happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Pastor Gabe. Happy birthday to you. Give him a hand, everybody.
Thank you very much, everybody.
If you guys want to sit back down, if you know anything about Pastor Gabe, it is being interrupted when he's on a roll. So I'm going to let him know he was about to talk about the Good Neighbor Project, so I'll let him take it for that.
Okay, I knew there was something. All right, yeah, so as we're giving today, I gotta tell you, there's this program insert that you have, and it's this catalog, this Good Neighbor Project catalog. It's got all the list of the projects. If you didn't already sign up for one, it's your time, it's your day. There's a table out there. You can also go online, of course, scan this QR code if you wanna do it. It's a big deal 2 weeks from now, and we wanna get ready for that. But the cool thing is, some of you are probably thinking, I wish we did this more than one time a year. Who's ever had that thought? I wish we did this more than one time a year. We hear it a lot. Well, actually, our team started, some volunteers from our church started something called Year-Round Good Neighbor Project. It happens all the time. And if you're interested in being in a part of more than just one time a year going out and serving the community, there's a group for that. You can find it on the app today. So download the app. Right at the top should be, or somewhere near the top should be information about how to do that. And it's that kind of stuff. It's Good Neighbor Project. It's good year-round Good Neighbor Project. It's the baptisms that we just got to celebrate yesterday. By the way, we were out, being beat up by the ocean waves yesterday in Lincoln City. And we had set this crazy goal at the beginning of the year that I don't know where the number came from, but we had 88 baptisms. We'd hoped that in 2024 we could baptize 88 people. And it turns out that yesterday, when those 9 people were baptized at the beach, that clicked us over to 89 baptisms so far this year. What a celebration. And why that matters is not the number 89. It is the fact that every one of those people is a person with a story and a future and a clean heart and this relationship with God, and we're just celebrating that. So thank you for your generosity and faithfulness as we make that happen together. I want to invite you, if you've got a prayer request today, maybe God stirred your heart about something, stick around with us online. Our prayer team is there up front. Our prayer team will be here. We would love to pray with you, and we'd love to see you back here again next Sunday for part 3 of this serving series. Thanks a lot for being here today. God bless you guys.